Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we're in Minecraft again today. I know, you're surprised. We have a lot to do on the Sci-fi island and I thought, you know, I'm just going to dive right in. I want to move some stuff around. I want to tear down some old stuff that I no longer like or is no longer the right proportions. We did work on this yesterday and I'm pretty happy with the overall size of it. I may want to refine it a little bit before we start copying it in 4 different locations. Because the way that's going to work is we're going to have one of these arms going in the north, south, east, and west directions. And so I'll have to wait, I think, until I've moved the shulker farm before I can do the one to the south. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. But I want to at least get a couple of these sorted. And I think the easiest way to do that is going to be to take this one down. Goonie Katie Mikatu, hello. SweetSandi, how's it going? Justin Tunes, hello. Wormbo, what's going on? Right, I think the easiest way is just going to be to start out here. We should probably move the carrot farm too. I might have to move that underground somewhere. How's everyone's morning going so far? I had a terrible sleep last night, so I may end up being a little low energy to start the stream this morning. Just one of those days where I just could not get the morning rolling. Have extra coffee, so that's good. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Something that I mentioned yesterday on stream too is that I'm forgetting about the other dimension that these little arms, these arms that are reaching out to the sky, as they get closer to the center part, they're going to get thicker. And I think that's also going to give us more room for detail and design and stuff. Gonna move the quote-unquote chicken farm too. Not that it's much of a farm, but if we ever need chickens, we've got them. Yeah, the plan is to try to get a little bit more organized so that when I log in future, I don't have to worry too much about what I'm doing. I can just kind of continue the process. It's mostly just because I find having a bunch of mess, stuff that I'm no longer using, becomes difficult with screenshots. Like if I want to do a thumbnail for YouTube, it's like, what are you working on? This, and it just looks like spaghetti. It's like, well, it's hard to kind of tell. I have to find the right angle. I think we're removing some of the temporary stuff and moving some of the things around. It's one of the things that I think is good that we did, which is the temporary farms. I think it gave us a little bit of playtime in the area, kind of gave us a chance to move around and feel out the island, but then also it's just nice to make more permanent choices. One thing I wish that Minecraft would add, which I would consider as a mod for only one purpose, and that is content creation, and that is a headlamp. I kind of feel like we've got lanterns. It would be, I don't think it would be too difficult to have a headlamp. Even if it was something like armor trim with redstone that glowed or something. I don't know. I just think it would be very useful. Again, mostly for content creation. Just to be able to see what you're doing. I mean, part of that is because I play with shaders, of course. You think moon phases have anything to do with sleep? I doubt there's much science on that. I think temperature can affect it, but like honestly, I think it's just a matter of other factors that are more like, what did I eat? How did my day go? As opposed to anything outside. One thing you will find, I am not an astrology guy. I'm not a moon phase guy. I'm very much a science guy. Actually, speaking of, I saw a really good interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson on Diary of a CEO. It's not always my favorite podcast. I feel like sometimes the guests are a bit far-fetched. But Neil deGrasse Tyson is one of my favorite, we'll call him a celebrity scientist, I guess. Well-known scientist. And I really like hearing him speak, and he was really, really well-spoken in that interview on Diary of a CEO. It was fairly recent, too. SweetSandi, it starts early. Thanks for being awesome. Bots are out early today. Boy, boy, boy. So this is 13 by 5 on the 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be pretty easy to replicate. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Don't remember what this was for. With the beacons? He has a way of explaining things that in a way you understand for Neil deGrasse Tyson. 100%. The new book that he has out is actually an updated version of an older book that he has. And it is called... Oh man. It was just re-released in October this year. I want to say something about Merlin, where basically it's a Q&A book where people write in, or he used to have an article in the paper where people would write in and ask him questions, and he would be this fictional character Merlin, and he would answer those questions, but he was updating the book to be on par with 21st century science because it was an older book that he had made, and it was just really cool, or it sounded cool. The one other book that I've read of his is called Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, and that was also very good. Probably a better read than an audiobook. The audiobook was a bit tricky, just because the way that the book is written is very much the way that he speaks, but it was better to read it, I think, than it was to listen to it, because when he explains verbally like what like a trillion is or something like that, it's kind of a lot. When he says like all the zeros, it's just like it would be better to read numbers than to hear numbers broken down like that, I think. I don't think his beliefs go outside of science. He seems to be pretty science-based. The interview, I know what you mean though, Wormbo, about ego. But I feel like the interview with Stephen on Diary of a CEO was more balanced. Stephen didn't necessarily bait him, but he certainly asked some questions where he could have gone kind of condescending on them, and he didn't. Okay, that's that part, I think, done. Oh, no, that's supposed to go up like that. Okay. Okay, so that should clean up that side pretty well. A lot tidier. 5. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that science has evolved. If that's the right word, SweetSandi, a lot of science in school and learned about space and stuff. Oh, I mean, evolve is probably the right word. I think a lot of science has been corrected, right? Like, I think that that's something that, despite that deGrasse Tyson being very finite about a lot of his statements, he also does not appear to be someone that is afraid to be wrong, right? Like, if he was proven wrong, he'd be just like, yep, science, right? I feel like in sometimes the interviews with Neil deGrasse Tyson, when they're short form, it's problematic, Warmbo, because they can edit him down to something that he might have elaborated, but they don't show you that in the interview. But then also I just find that he can be abrupt, because I think that the problem is that the people that'll argue with him, they don't have proof, right? Justin says he likes to have the last say. Well, I mean, like, if you're a scientist and you know you're right, and people are just like, no, but I believe this, and you're just like, yeah, but the Earth is round. Like, I mean, I'd be inclined to say you're wrong. You know? This is the wrong line. These are the kind of things I wanted to fix. I guess I can tear this down too. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. I guess I should have waited and put diorite on that. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. Okay, that's right. I don't know if I'm going to end up using this kind of shulker box loader, but I've certainly got enough screenshots and stuff from it that I could probably rebuild it. There's also a screenshot in the Discord from Wormbo. I want to come up with a cool skin for the allays. I think it would be fun to have them look like little robots or something. Maybe that's something I should start doing on Fridays, because right now I don't have another Lego set to work on. The Game Boy was pretty fast. So one thing I'm thinking about doing is doing some texture work, like some pixel art. Kind of wish there was a way to label markers. Like, I wish we could lay signs flat on the ground. I think that would be cool. And this is actually right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cat Lady Live, hello, hello. Mini clap traps? Oh, that would be funny. They fly though, so we need something that's floatable. I wonder if I could change the model. Like I don't know enough about Minecraft to, like, I could change the textures on the geometry, but I might want to like change, maybe I don't want them to have wings, you know, like maybe I want them to have like little spilling, maybe I want them to be drones, like little propellers. That would be kind of fun. It would actually be a really cool exercise to learn how to do that. Two, three, four, five, six. I am getting very few frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. because that's in line there. That actually might be the right height at some point. This, however, I don't think is. It's funny the difference in mining speed from concrete to terracotta. Concrete is very slow, but you get insta-mine with terracotta. We've got a mesa nearby too, so if I need more terracotta, should be not too difficult. If I do that, something I'd like to do is not just go out and mine a desert or mine a Badlands, but actually maybe make a build there that looks like a space mine or something, you know. Do that first. And then that way when you're there, it makes more sense, I guess, thematically. Didn't Empire's SMP have a mod that could change the model of entities? Yes, but they had someone that knew what they were doing in the background. Like there was a modeling texture artist that was working with them, from what I remember. For entities, you may need special client-side mod to change models. Oh yeah, no, I knew that would probably be the case. I mean, the art stuff I can handle, right? Like that's not a difficult thing. I guess I could leave that there. Don't remember why this is out here. At least when I was just sketching out ideas, I had the forethought to use blocks that would be very easy to remove, which has been helpful. Did I move this to 17? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did. Okay. Move, please. Mobs are always in the way. Guess I'll leave that there for now. think that looks pretty good. Missing some stuff over here. Not missing, rather. Have not yet deleted. I'm keeping the circle that I built at first just for reference. I think that might be the size of the interior. Or close to it. Much tidier. A little easier to see the vision, I think. $40, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's something about bridging over areas like this in Minecraft that always reminds me of like the first few months of playing the game, and you're trying to learn how to do these basic, how do I build in the air, what's the best way to do this sort of stuff. Getting there. So down here, this was going to be a 17 wide road. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that would be 19. 7 to there? One outside of the door. Minimum, anyway. Had it right. And that happens to line up with the footprint of the farm. As long as it's not bridging over a lava lake. No, that's what I was thinking of. Like, that's what I was remembering. Not exactly a fun time. I agree. All right, so that's okay because it's well outside of the box, as is the nether portal. This we made yesterday, and this is just making automatic chests, which is great. Such a simple, basic little setup. And I don't know how well it's doing. I think we had 2 at the end of the stream yesterday. Oh, that's full. Need to do another... Maybe need to separate this out. Let's... Guess just need another shulker box. Might be time to think about gray and white concrete as their own box as well. Oh no. Anvils don't last as long as you think they do. Or you think they would. It's so funny, because as a Canadian, spell it gray. I think those are interchangeable, but I could be wrong. Now, hopefully this won't be impossible to see. Oh, that's black. Alternate spelling should be interchangeable in Minecraft, like spell it either way and it still comes up. 100%. Yeah. It's one of the funny things and nice things about working with Johnny on the Spawn Chunks is that because Canada's part of the Commonwealth, a lot of our spelling is similar to British spelling. So things like neighbor, favorite, all that kind of stuff. Americans were like, why are you putting a U in that? And it's like, why are you not? It was very strange growing up watching American Sesame Street until the Canadian Sesame Street came around. Because obviously, like, the second language on Sesame Street was Spanish, not French. And then all the spelling on Sesame Street was American spelling for stuff like that. I don't think I was ever corrected in school for spelling something the American way. I think it was always like, yep, that's acceptable. Like, I mean, you got it right. Because I think they just knew that kids just had so much exposure to American media. This is why I wanted that other shulker box. I might be making a little bit of extra work for myself, but I think it'll be easier to see the vision. I could remove some of the patches and stuff. This is what was under that big hill that we took down. Unfortunately, there's only like 2 or 3 levels of dirt on the Mushroom Island. And then you get into stone. If it was just dirt, then the mycelium would just have taken over it by now. Actually, that'll go a lot faster with a potion. Should probably put one in each hand. You can feel the beacon wear off when I get too far away. It's funny. Oh, more mycelium needed. dipping into the stores. Sometimes the vowel shifting in English spelling is weird for Europeans. Yeah, I can see that too. The stuff I find so interesting are languages that are just non-Latin based. Like Steven, who is on the server with me and also co-hosts the Citadel Cafe with me, is learning Korean, and just the amount of stuff that he talks about and the things that you have to consider when you're learning a language like that is just, it's wild. Very cool, but I don't know. I mean, I'd have to try, but I don't know how well my brain is wired for that kind of stuff. I did not have an easy time with French in school, and we had to take it. Like, it was required. Some of that could have been the classes and the teacher, though. I might be better at it if I was able to actually have conversations. But I mean, I speak for a living, and I barely speak English well enough to do that. Anybody that's been around here long enough to know. There are some days on the Spun Chunks when you're listening live where you're just kind of like, do these guys even know how to talk? I mean, Mojang does a pretty good job of writing tongue twisters for the news. Did anybody dive into the snapshot yesterday and find anything more interesting than what was on the surface? I was disappointed when I saw images of the coral nautilus. They're just like, it looks like someone threw paint at them. Like, I thought they were going to be bright colors. Like, I thought we were going to get yellow nautilus and green nautilus and not green, but like yellow and pink and magenta and blue. Sort of like what they look like when with armor on, but that's not at all what it was. And this is why I keep all this stuff. I forgot about the speed potions and the potions in general, and the particles that come up in your screen. I think there was a texture pack from Vanilla Tweaks that made that less obvious, like it made it more transparent. I find it very distracting. Probably some more stuff to fill in down there too. Japanese use glyphs that are required to understand the meaning of the words and completely separate from the glyphs that describe how words sounds. Oh wow, yeah. Like, that's really complicated. I find it really tricky too with languages like Japanese or Mandarin, where the same word pronounced different ways means different things. feel like that's the same in Korean as well. We're almost there. I think going backwards might be easier on the eyes. At least I'm not going to fall down that, although I should probably put markers there. Still have to move that other beacon that we put in the wrong spot too. Finish this up and then I'll take a break. Hey, Cosmic, great minds think alike. Thanks for the big reminder. How's it going, Cosmic? Hope it's a chill day. Justin, you forgot that you had coffee left? What's that like? Forgetting that you have coffee. If I have coffee in front of me, I don't forget that I have it. It's when it's not in front of me that I will leave it in a room or something like that. Let's just empty the old inventory here. Cool. All right, I'm gonna sleep just because there might be phantoms. Forgive you. I will find it in my heart. Deep in the roasted bean center of my heart. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. a little cleaner, a little bit more in line with what we want. So when we come back, we will probably be moving the carrot farm. That should be okay. Definitely gonna move the chicken farm, the chicken coop. And I think that's it. I'm not moving that today at all. We'll have to figure that out later. Yeah, we might, well, we might not move the carrot farm. It's not like in the way immediately. We'll have to see how that goes. And where's the beacon supposed to be? The beacon is supposed to be, that beacon is supposed to be over there somewhere in line with this one. But right now we've got it here, and it should be up in that section. Cool. I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes, folks. Justin Toons has a merch idea. I'll find it in the roasted bean center of my heart to forgive you. For what? Like a sticker? Or a shirt? I've been thinking about doing print on demand stuff, but it's hard. I don't really have a lot of memes and stuff in the channel, which seems to be the only way to do it without encroaching on any kind of copyright, right? Because I can't do anything Minecraft related. The closest I could probably come would be we built this city on spruce trapdoors, and I would have to like make an illustration of a spruce trapdoor, which I mean, like the general idea of a spruce trapdoor is not copyrighted by Mojang, but the image of the trapdoor from Minecraft obviously is. So I'd have to come up with something unique. We are gonna move the chickens somewhere. Do I even need? I don't even know if I need them. We can probably just remove them. I feel like I could probably get chickens. If I need chickens again, I could probably start over. Having that many eggs, I should be okay. I don't, maybe a yellow shulker box for eggs. Yeah, let's go yellow. Cool, that's moved. I think our brown dye farm will just have to be manual. I can't think of a way to do it automatically. You still have to plant everything. Even if you use pistons to shake off the beans, you're still gonna have to replant everything. And we have plenty now anyway. It should be good. Probably also remove that then. Ladders, trapdoors, glass. I feel like this needs to be somewhere closer. Utility stuff is all around here. We'll call this crops. Don't have a spot for some of this stuff. Oh, you're empty. Or a hat, pillow, or a mug. Never thought about hats. Yeah, there's definitely enough brown dye. I'm not sure what I'm going to need for brown dye. You can't turn it into anything else. But we've got enough of the other stuff. I think we're good. You didn't think about hats, you wear one every day. Yeah, I wear one every day, but it's not something that has a brand on it. Like, it's not a ball cap. I have a ball cap that I wear to the gym. It's just a Nike hat. The problem with that kind of stuff is that the margin on print on demand is not great. And you run into sizing and stuff like that. I'd have to find a... I'd probably go with Shopify or something like that because I don't have the time to handle like returns and shipping and all that kind of stuff. For people that don't know, I used to run a small publishing indie pub, and we had merch and books and things. And dealing with shipping in Canada is a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. So I ended up with a partner in the U.S. that was shipping out to the U.S. All right, I think we're gonna bring up the gunpowder, and for that I'm gonna need redstone. I moved that over here. My brain is still getting used to moving things around. That should be good. Plus I need soul sand. We'll need some kelp. Which one? That one? Yes. Water buckets. I think that's everything I need. And maybe some lights. Feel like the green concrete? I think it's green concrete that it's made out of. Yeah, should be good. So we can put up a temporary rocket farm in the same way that we did a temporary chest farm. It is lime. Okay, cool. We're just going to line this up with the center of the farm, because this might be temporary. I don't know for how far back I have to go to be in the wall. Looks like 64. Maybe we'll go to 52, 560. Right there. So hoppers are on this level. We can spit it into a water thing here. Don't need that. Didn't bring any slabs. You know, not that far. I could just put hoppers. I was going to make a water stream, but... Well, I guess I have to get it into the stream to get it up. Anyway. We'll do that. We'll do that way. We'll have the dropper here. I need to go get some other blocks. Try to make it at least consistent. Oh, we don't have any glass either. I can't remember if I used tinted glass or green glass. I might actually let this waterfall go through. I forgot ice. Crap. Okay. We'll have to do something with that waterfall. We'll have to somehow stop it from coming to the right. So I'll keep the glass there. This will be a dropper. And then all I have to do is just create a circuit. I guess we'll do this off to the side. Be a little asymmetrical. See if I remember how to do this. Thought I had that right. Oh, this is going to be... That's supposed to be redstone here. But I can't do that because I need to have water stream there. I could have the dropper face the other way, I guess. Lord Andy has a 3-stream watch streak. Thanks very much, Lord Andy. That's awesome. Appreciate it. How do I get this dropper to auto fire? If it's not gonna... can this read through a block? I feel like it can. Yes. That means I could do this. Hold on. If stuff in thing, power this. Okay, that works. But it doesn't do if it's empty. I feel like this is supposed to be a block. Twitch be twitching? Yeah. That happens. Oh, I know what I've done wrong. Repeater's in the wrong spot. No, that was my only repeater. Dang it. The precious repeater, yeah. Does this even have an out? Oh, that's not helpful at all. Crap. No. Ugh. I hate scaffolding so much. Nope, that's not working either. So, reading something in there. This needs to go around. I mean, it's fine if it... Right. Okay, so then it's just not clicking, so... It'll just stop when it reaches a low enough number. Yeah. Right, so the repeater needs to be farther back. I mean, I don't care. It can have 41 in it. It really doesn't matter. So it will function. This goes into there. It's taking signal strength down. That's a full block. This has to go into the side of that, I know that much. I just need to get this signal as a full signal. There we go. Does this need to be there? No. Cool, that's done. All right. So that there will replace all of these. Now, how can I maneuver that around? I'll probably just block it up here. But it's always going to come back. Oh no, once we've done that, we should be good. Right. Okay. Oh no, that's going to make it worse. Awesome. Simplest solution is to just stop it. We can always put it back. I was going to keep it, but water mechanics are just something I really dislike messing with. All right, this is going to need at least a couple of spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll need here. We could probably get away with it. That needs to be ice. Cool. So now I just need to get these coordinates. Ooh. Go dig a hole. And I need I think that's it. Ice. Ice is the only thing that I'm missing. Oh, I also got to make sure that this is lit up. Yeah, I think we're good. Definitely want to use rockets to get around through tunnels. I think it'd be really fun to have like a network of tunnels around that you can fly in and out of. All right, ice blocks. $52.60. And 35,923. I would say right there. And that was, yeah, that's about where I thought it was going to be. It bugs me that the map doesn't give me the right coordinates ever since I discovered that. That's fun. Getting close. There we go. Momentum should carry them through, I think. We'll do a test. Yep, looks so good to me. Excellent. Actually, let's go out this way. Hey, Blue, how's it going? Minecraft hydrology is so weird. Yeah, not a fan. Normally I like to decorate these tunnels, or at least have them to be a certain color, but this stuff is probably temporary. We're just going to do it this way. I need another bucket of water. I think that's it. Nope, that's just a... Here it is over here. Guess I could mark it. This should be doable. We're going to find out. I don't know if I brought enough kelp. Oh, right. That can't be soul sand just yet. Oh yeah, I'm good. Cool. Should be able to just go back down and do the same thing. The idea that kelp turns water, running water into full blocks is fantastic. It makes stuff like this so much easier. This would be a real pain to do. Whee! Alright, so gunpowder will come up there as soon as I reverse the hoppers. Where do I keep the clay? Oh, over here. It's like, I know I've got it somewhere. Yeah, they just, you can't plant them. It would be really simple if you could plant kelp on soul sand, but because soul sand doesn't have a full hitbox, you can't do it. Have a pain. So the hard part here is going to be to do this without disrupting the farm. The good news is while we're standing here, these guys won't spawn, so that's good. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with the dye as well. I can remove this. I guess I could just fly in there. That's probably the easiest thing to do. Thankfully, the campfires do not destroy themselves, which is great. Dropper should be there. Cool. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So now we just have to wait to see if this is going to work. Double check to make sure everything's lit up. I think we're good. Don't think there's anything needed down here. We know the kelp made it up. Can test it. I'd say that's working. Wow. Dark and stormy. Yeah, not only rain today, it's been a day. There's our blocks ready to go. And so this is going to be not concrete. This is going to be gunpowder. So the easy thing to do, I might not want to make this green. Let's make this gray. Gray concrete. I need to have extra hoppers. We don't have any real dark wood. It's unfortunate. So that, like gray wood, we have brown, but like not anything that is really helpful. I guess I could use a slab. Closest thing to a gray slab, I think, is probably that. Just temporary for now. Hey, there's the gunpowder. Nice. That might be a problem. They might get caught on that, so let's move that out here. Oops. That never used to be a problem, but it is now. And this is why we're putting a lid on it. Like a gunpowder geyser. Think that'll work. One way to find out. I saw that notification. It's going to be 1 second where I'm not flying into my death. Seven gunpowder go in. I go up to shoot. See if they make it into the shelter box. I didn't check to see what was in there. Well, they're not floating around in nothing. I don't think. Let's try it one more time. Joel's not paying attention for the science. I'll just throw them in here. Let's do 20. I'll just do 10. Good enough. I think it'll be really cool when we get more holes poked in the ceiling of the lush cave. Be 2 stacks and 10. Nice. Victory is mine. Zero. Thanks very much for the Prime sub. 28 months. Cheers. Thanks so much for the support. Sorry to be a little bit late on that. I just didn't want to plant my face into the side of a lush cave. Yeah, I'm going to make it look like a fitting design, I think. That's the idea. Right now we're just kind of working on temporary stuff, though. And also my inventory is bananas. I need to make more crafters. That's the other thing I don't have a lot of. I guess I could probably keep these. Fish. Don't need fish. Okay, so now I want to... We know we're going to get some glow squid ink from there. They're spawning in the water trap. Oh, Boo is on a 15 stream streak. Holy crap. That's awesome. I need to work out a way to have some rewards or something for that. I need to look more into the stream streak stuff. I think it's just bragging rights right now. But and that's a hype train. Thanks very much. I think Zero kicked that off. I'm just trying to see how much time is left. There's 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. If you want to join the hype train, it's a Prime sub or tier 1 sub or 100 bits. And you'll get an emote from Twitch depending on the level of the hype train. I want to create a sugarcane farm. So it'll be very similar to what we did over here. I need a bunch of crafters. How do I even make a crafter? Crafting bench, iron, wow, proppers. I forgot that they are complicated. What am I missing? Oh, my iron is not out of the box. Cool. I think we should be good. Some sugar cane. I need pistons and stuff, mud blocks, and hoppers. I actually don't know what size to make this. I don't know how fast. 5 should probably be good. First time in chat, Coyer. How was Coyer? Coyer? I'm saying your name right. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. SweetSandi gifted a tier 1 sub to Gappy the Guy, jumping on the hype train. Level 1 has got 1 minute and 10 seconds left. People want to jump in on the hype train? I don't know if gift subs work on the hype train, Sandy. Zero, thanks very much for popping in. Appreciate it. You deleted 8 terabytes of data? Woof. At least you get a backup. You definitely strike me as someone that would have that kind of stuff backed up. I need to figure out how to back up my PC. I need to upgrade to a Windows 11, and I don't have a free hard drive to make a Windows backup. My Mac does Time Machine. Like my Mac's fine, but I need to sort that out. So way over here, we are going to create the rocket farm, or the temporary rocket farm. We need to, I guess we'll work backwards. So this can just be a crafter like right here, I think. And then we can have this, like, yeah, put the crafter there. So this is going to make rockets. And it needs gunpowder and it will need paper. So I could potentially, no, I'm not going to be able to use the same composter. I don't think. And this is just going to take sugar cane and turn it into paper. Like that. Okay. And then this is going to be that. We might be able to use the same composter. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate that. Heads up. We'll go, maybe we'll just line it up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I put the concrete away. Dang it. All right, I'm going to take the break just so I don't get carried away with this. Folks, if you're new, I take a break once an hour. Thanks again for that hype train. Nice way to kick off a Thursday. And we'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes to finish up the temporary rocket farm. Okay, we need some more composters. Make a couple of those. Grab some moss, just because moss is easy to use to fill up the composters with. Thanks for the recommendation, T666. You're probably off to your workout now, but thanks for the note in Discord, and thanks for the software note for backing up on Windows. First time watching one of Joel's streams, and actually Twitch in general. I've been curious about the Citadel a long time because of the spawn chunk. So nice. That, I think there was a cow in there. There was. This is just a giant hole that goes nowhere. You are unfortunately here forever, friend. Friends, there's 2 of you. Well, at least you got company. Bye now. I have mud. Oh, I didn't bring the concrete. Whoops. Sorry. I need sleep anyway. You don't play Minecraft? You just like listening to the spawn chunks? That's interesting. Do you know people that play Minecraft? And thanks. I'm glad that you like the builds. I mean, this is obviously very much under construction, but the West Hill stuff is all solid. I guess I could go one farther. Water trough will be there. That's gonna need a redstone on top of it. Get that back. I had that right the first time. I do have to remind myself when I do stuff like this that it's all temporary. That's for water, and then we need this for pistons. I guess the pistons could be over here, couldn't they? Nah, we'll just do it this way. Guess I can probably do that. Now I need observers. Again, end game spoilers is that I have a lot of stuff, so I don't need to worry about resources. This is definitely overkill. Put some water there. Feel like we'll put some light blocks in here, which I forgot. This will have to be solid. Maybe I'll put glass there for fun. All right, I need a light block, and I need water, and I need glass. Glass. Let's go with a green light block. Blue Crow, you should be careful of automatic firework crafting. If you temporarily run out of one thing, the last crafter will clog up with the other ingredient. For example, if you're temporary run out of gunpowder, the last crafter will have 2 paper and cause nothing to be made. Oh, that's fair. That's good to know. Blast Jordan subscribed to tier 1, 29 months. Thanks very much. Appreciate that, Blast. As always, good to see you. Yeah, that's fair. How do I solve that then? Got water. I mean, I could just have the sugarcane go into a box and I could craft them manually. That just seems to... that defeats the purpose, though. That should be good. A weird looking build, but I'll take it. You can read off the hopper and always have a full crafter of items. You can read off the hopper. All right, so this is going to have only sugarcane coming in here. I need to refresh my memory on it's redstone. Right, so it's just a comparator. Right, comparator. Yeah, okay. Use the comparator on the hopper instead of the crafter. Okay. So I could just move this crafter out this way. Oh no, I guess I could pull off. Well, I'm gonna move that. So that crafter could stay where it was, right? You're saying read off of this and only craft. I mean, well, this is going to be straightforward. This one we can do right now. This one is just going to be comparator, subtract mode. And then guess I could have it face this way. I have to do this the other way around. There has to be a distance of 2. Comparator, comparator. Composter. That doesn't make any sense. I need to sleep anyway. I'll see if I can get there, Paisley. Oh, repeater. That's what I'm forgetting. Repeater block. Repeater block. 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 Right. So when that eventually gets sugarcane, so this is fine because this is going to be sugarcane. Oh, subtract mode. Why is that powered? Oh, because this has got nothing in it. I did that last time too. There we go. So now, if you do this, you get paper, and you go into there. Nice. For now, I should probably not have this hooked up. Right. So Paisley said, use the comparator on the hopper instead of the crafter. Which hopper? The paper hopper? Or the gunpowder hopper? Both? But so you're saying I should only, so when one piece of paper goes through here and one piece of paper goes, and one gunpowder goes through there, then I can contact that. Okay. Hold on then. Just turn that off for now. So you're saying the comparator has to go off of that hopper and off of this hopper. Just trying to do some auto crafting for rockets. So we want to only craft. That's the thing. So I could put the composter here. And that goes into that and that. Yeah, we're crafting tier 1 rockets. But I don't need that though, because this doesn't have to be full. Right? This just has to be anything. You could craft while the hopper has items. That will leave a stack of stuff in the crafter. But at this farm you have, but this is a farm, you have enough. You'll want to craft when any item comes in. Don't need the composter. Right. This is the drawback with autocrafters. They don't filter at all. Because we're not getting anything out of that yet. So I can't keep gunpowder from coming into here, right? That's the problem. I guess I could lock the hopper. Am I out of concrete? I'm out of concrete. All right, so I need to power that first. That doesn't work. Oh, there we go. That blinked. I also lock that hopper. Paper in it. Oh no, that should be the same. Be the same thing. You need to preload the... Oh, I need to preload the crafter. I guess that's fine. Okay. I don't have a stack right now. Oh, a stack of gunpowder. That. And I think I've got a stack of paper. Hold on. Again, temporary. I would like to know how to do this for real, but I feel like it'd be a much larger setup. Alright, so there's one of each. I can actually take that away for now. So now what I need to do is anytime a single item comes through, either there or there, then this gets powered. So this doesn't need to be locked. I can't have anything in there other than the items that we want, though. Right. And so if item comes from there, or if an item comes from here, then power the hopper. Or not the hopper, the dropper. Not the dropper. Crafter. Jeez. I guess I might just take the extra. Well, no, I can't. I have to have them this separate. Have drop. I keep on forgetting about droppers. You're right. I could put a dropper there and a dropper there, and make that circuit. This doesn't work because things are going to build up here, right? I could have this compared to a composter and only craft once when it's full. Would that work? Rather than crafting all the time. Oh, that doesn't work. Right, so that works for crafting everything. How do I reverse this so that I only want it to craft once and then stop? Is the subtract mode maybe the problem there? I've never really gotten a handle on subtract mode. That was the wrong direction. Yeah, that doesn't work either. You still don't understand crafters, Dan? I understand the crafters. It's the comparator stuff that I think is problematic. So that's giving off a full signal. I just want this to craft once when it hits 64. That's all I need, right? So this is giving a full signal, as is that. So this is winning. One second, I think my building is mowing the lawn. Sorry, I had to shut the window. Get a comparator output equal to the non-empty slots, including any locked slots, when the crafter has a valid recipe and receives power and crafts the recipe once. Yeah. But the problem is I can't control the speed at which sugarcane comes in, right? Also, this isn't going to work anymore. So this should, oops, crap. This should work here. This will get sugarcane when that eventually fires. Tricky part is the wiring around the crafter, yeah. So gunpowder coming in, sugarcane coming in, no problem. I just have to figure out how to get this to craft. Like when it's at 63, I want that to be off. Right, so... $63. I want this to be off at 63. Maybe the repeater is the problem? Because at that point, no, that's not the, it's close. You haven't done multi-item crafting yet? I did under the iron farm. And usually I would say the thing to do, which would be a little bit more complicated than this, would be to have each of these lines go into a dropper and have the dropper have them put items in one at a time. But the problem is you can't control the stream. So 2 gunpowder comes in ahead of a paper and it screws up the feed. So that's why who was it in chat? Paisley said to have it pre-stacked. Could observe the hopper. So whenever anything goes through the, but again, like this comes in chunks. Like it's not coming in one at a time. It's going to come in stages. I feel like there should be a way to read that this is at not full capacity and flash it, right? So that needs to be in subtract mode. No, it doesn't. That doesn't do the thing. Well, that's not getting. This need to be a repeater. I don't think I have any paper unless it's in here. Guess I could just make some. So that signal strength doesn't get all the way around, which is the problem. Use a second crafter instead of a composter. Oh, that's fair. I thought about that too. Nope. And this hasn't even fired yet, so the gunpowder is going to be a lot faster than the paper. 8 disabled slots. Or nope. Thing is, I can't get this to flash. That's the thing. I could use an observer, but then if one of these gets more than the other, it's going to be a problem, right? Eight slots is the same as the full composter, so I haven't changed anything there. It's just the same thing. Close all the slots on the second crafter. Nope. Now I'm just at a paper. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Dominion Links, I think? Dominant Links. Sorry, didn't see the T. So that still won't work. There's the paper coming in though. Uh-oh. Oh, I forgot about that. We've got to have hoppers underneath that. Right. I'll fill this in quickly. I was thinking bamboo, I think. I really hate having a full inventory like this when you're trying to do stuff. It drives me crazy. And now I don't have any sugarcane. Now you know why I need rockets. Which, I mean, we have them on the server. It's just that I wanted to have them built here. That was close. Okay, that should fix that. So everything is flowing into the crafter. It's just a matter of getting the crafter to read when it's not, well, like when it's full. So if this is full, it's comparing a full crafter to a full crafter and nothing is happening. So take that out. And because the crafter is powered, it's also locking the hoppers going into it, which is going to be a problem. All right, so that's off. And that doesn't do anything. So that's compared to a full one. And that's not doing what I thought it should. Nope. We have component parts of the rockets on the server. We don't have anywhere that crafts them all together. No. No, we don't. So that should work just fine. How do I get this to read that 63 is, or 64 is not what we want? That's got gunpowder. It's got paper. See you later, Blue. Thanks very much for being here. So this is not full. This is full. I want that to be full. I have to take this out here. I wish there was a way to just take one. That's at 63. That's comparing that, and that's still winning. Subtract mode, it's not winning. Right? 4. Still nothing. Still nothing. Which doesn't make any sense. How did you do the pink dye crafter at the iron farm? I think there's like a double. I think there's like a double comparator. I think. We can go take a look. The nice thing is that it's close with the magic of science. The pink dye has got, I think there's a bunch of droppers, if I'm remembering correctly. I did that live on stream too. The hard part with the iron farm dyes was the distribution. They're still not even. Like, we still produce way more white dye than we do anything else. Or red dye, I guess, is the one that's the winner. But right, so don't know which is which. This is probably, yeah, there's the pink dye. So it's got crafter into crafter. So this gets bone meal, this gets red dye, and then it's a matter of this only crafts if that crafts. So yeah, if this or if that crafts something, then it only works because the dye is backed up. Like, it's not an elegant solution at all. What is that? Observer. What is that crafting? That's white dye? I bet you there's some redstone right there that I'm not seeing. Yeah. I actually don't remember. Crazy to think that I built this and I don't know how it works. Or I don't remember how it works, I should say. Yeah, it crafts when it receives the bone meal because the red dye is so abundant. Because we get poppies from the farm, right? So the poppies are supplying everything. They're supplying the bone meal, they're supplying the red dye. Bone meal turns into white dye. White dye gets turned into pink dye when combined with red dye. How long ago did I build it? Oh god, 2 years? I don't know, look up whenever I refitted the iron farm. Dan says this will work. Yeah, that looks like a tutorial that I'm not following right now. Thanks though, Dan. I'll take a look after. I still think it should be more straightforward to compare, to have this not put out a signal unless it's full. Right? Like, that should not be a difficult thing to do. Because right now, it's got any signal. Like right now, it's pushing out anything. Put it in subtract mode, and it's subtracting full from full, which is 0. Right? But if I subtract, if this is not full, that's not full from full till 0. What if we did that? Nope. It's 0 to 9. Fair. So this is outputting 9. And has been outputting 9 for the duration of that. So right on. So then there's no way to read the crafter as having nearly full stacks. You can only read it as 0 to 9. So then you still can't. This is the problem that I have with the crafter, is that you can't filter them, right? I really wish you could filter them and say, like, put paper in here, put gunpowder in there. But the only way to do that is to, like, leave them half full, hope that this is the right speed, which it's probably not going to be, right? So anyway, Dan shared a video that I can check in between streams and probably fix it, but it's not something I'm going to do live. Fubar Basilisk says I usually put a buffer above them, like a clay pot, because they're single stack containers, and use that as a lock mechanism for the crafter so it won't run out. Oh, that's a cool idea. Compare the hoppers pointing to the crafter. That doesn't solve the problem, Orthus. The issue is that the speed at which the items come in is different. So comparing the hoppers doesn't really matter. Cool. Ooh, I need to put some stuff away. Stop crafting if either the hoppers are not full. Yeah, I don't think that works for the setup that I have. So again, it's only a temporary farm. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just happy to have a small sugarcane farm and gunpowder. We can just do it manually at some point. So this will just fill up with paper. And again, this is not going to crank out that much, so we're good for now. I have my ceiling, I don't. Put everything back. Oh, I guess I should put the gunpowder back over there, shouldn't I? Cool. Whoops. I don't realize I was carrying around one single block of cobblestone. No wonder my inventory was screaming at me. Nice. All right. Well, that's probably as close as we're going to get on that today. Yeah, the dropper is going into the crafter. Probably treating it like I did the pink dye under the iron farm is probably the better way to do it. So we are going to pass you along to somebody else playing Minecraft, though. Let me just see if I can find someone live. Barring that, if you've got someone that you want to recommend, I can also toss you over to there. Pearlescent Moon is streaming. She is always a good shout. I also like to raid Megabyte, but she's doing co-working, so I'd rather send you over to Minecraft. So let's do Pearlescent Moon. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. There's no Lego to do a stream tomorrow, so we will focus on probably Minecraft again, or something else if I have a brain fart between now and then. But right now, there's no other... Oh, tomorrow's Thursday. You're right. So it will be Minecraft. But still, that means Friday, I don't know what I'm doing for... I don't know what I'm doing for Friday's stream because I don't have a Lego set to work on. So we will figure that out when we come to it. But yeah, tomorrow will be Minecraft again. So that will be on 9 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 3 hours right now, I'm pretty sure. And do check out things like the Spawn Chunks, my Patreon page, which is Joel Duggan on Patreon. One of the best ways to join the server, not the server, the Discord server. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.